Weather and climate. Weather. At a given place and a particular time, the degree of temperature, wind, amount of humidity in the air, and rainfall determine the weather. The weather is the condition prevailing for a short period of time over a small area. We may experience different weather conditions during the same day because weather changes constantly. The overall changes in the weather conditions that sustain for a long period make seasons. Climate. Climate is the average of weather conditions for a long period of time across a large area. Different types of climate are experienced in different of the world. The climate of the climate of a place the lifestyle the lifestyle of people, crops grown, clothes worn, food eaten and houses built. The climate also affects the life of animals and plants found in a region. Factors that determine climate. Distance from the equator. The sun has a major influence on the climate of a place. The area along the equator gets direct heat from the vertical rays of the sun and is thus hotter than the other latitudes. As we move away from the equator, rays of the sun become slanting. This makes the climate less hot. Height above sea level. The height of a place above the sea level is called the altitude of that place. The higher we go, the cooler it gets. Places located at higher altitudes are cooler than places located at lower altitudes. For example, Bengaluru and Chennai are almost on the same latitude, but Bengaluru is much cooler than Chennai because it is about 3,100 feet above the sea level, while Chennai is located almost the sea level. Distance from the sea. Places closer to the sea are neither very hot nor very cold, whereas places far away from the sea have extreme climates. Delhi is very cold in winter and very hot in summer because it is far away from any sea coast. In summer, the breeze from the sea cools the hot air on the land, while in winter, the warm breeze from the sea prevents the air on land from getting cold. Sea breeze is warm because water cools down slowly. That is why Mumbai, which is near the sea, experiences a moderate temperature throughout the year. Direction of the wind. Winds influence the weather of a place depending on the place of their origin. The winds coming from cold regions decrease the temperature of the region, whereas the winds coming from the hot region increase the temperature of the region. The winds coming from the sea make the region humid. Humidity. The amount of moisture and water vapor is in the air is called humidity. It affects the climate of a place. Winds blowing from the sea have a lot of moisture in them. That is why places near the sea, such as Mumbai and Chennai, are very humid. The rainfall that a place receives also depends on the level of humidity in the air. Heat zones. Based on the intensity of the heat received by a particular place, the Earth can be divided into three heat or temperature zones: torrid zone or tropical zone. This zone receives direct rays of the sun. The area which lies on both the sides of the equator between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn is called the torrid zone. In this zone, the climate remains hot and humid throughout the year. Temperate zone. This zone receives slanting rays of the sun. The area which lies between the torrid zone and the frigid zone in both the hemispheres is called the temperature zone. This area is neither very hot nor very cold. Frigid zone. This zone receives steep and slanted rays of the sun. The area which lies between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the southern hemisphere is called the North Frigid Zone, and the area that lies between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere is called the South Frigid Zone. The frigid zone is extremely cold throughout the year. Now I know. Temperature, wind, humidity, and rain determine the weather of a place. The conditions prevailing over a short duration of time in a small area is called the weather. Climate is the average weather condition over a large area sustained for a long period of time. The climate of a place depends on its distance from the equator, height above sea level, distance from the sea, direction of winds, and humidity. The temperature is very hot near the equator and extremely cold near the poles. Places that are located at higher altitudes than the sea level experience a cool climate. Places near the sea are neither very cold nor very hot. Places far from the sea have an extreme climate. Winds influence the weather of a place depending on the place of their origin. Rainfall of a place depends on the humidity level in the air. The Earth can be divided into three heat or temperature zones: the tropical zone, the frigid zone, and the temperature zone. Tropic zone is hot and humid. Frigid zone is extremely cold. Temperature zone is neither very hot nor very cold.